What's up, everybody? Hope you all enjoyed your day. Getting into this episode of GH, I enjoyed the Trina Portia Curtis scenes. I did. I totally get where Portia's coming from, where Esme is concerned. Just because it's looking like Esme may not be the hook killer, she's still on the line for other, crimes. And just because she has amnesia, Trina definitely shouldn't let her guard down. You know what I mean? So I totally agree with Portia on that one. You still gotta watch your back around Esme. Because at any given moment she could regain her memory and she may just, feign ignorance, like she still has amnesia or something, just to have leverage or the upper hand. So you got to be very careful with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't put it past Esme to sit there and continue to fake it. Because that definitely would give her some type of leverage over some people. You know what I mean? Like to get closer and, come up with some type of new plan and become an even bigger threat. So you got to, keep your guard up. Um, I enjoyed their conversation about Spencer, honestly, because I see where both of them are coming from. Honestly, I do. I see where Portia's coming from as a parent, and as a person who has feelings for someone. I totally get where Trina coming from. The heart wants what the heart wants, and she's willing to see the changes in Spencer that he's making. That's what's making her forgive him and let him back into her life again. So I totally get where Trina's coming from on that. Um, and she feels like she's going into this thing with Spencer with both eyes open. You know what I mean? And I totally get where Portia coming from. Him being a Cassadine is not a good thing. But, let me tell you something. Trina was defending Spencer as if she was defending the damn country. Like, she was just defending her man. Like, oh, he's not trying to be like his family. He's trying to be his own man. She was just laying it on for Portia, letting her know, like, listen, that's who I'm a rock with, whether you like it or not, pretty much. She was like, he's my friend. He doesn't have to be your friend. Like, Trina was giving it. She was like, just trust my judgment. But like I said, I get where Portia coming from. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure she did her homework on the Cassadines. I'm pretty sure, Taggart told her some things about the Cassadines due to the fact that his sister used to date Nicholas. So I'm pretty sure she got an earful from him about them. And plus, like I said, her own research and, what she probably heard around town about them. So I get where she coming from, because what she said about them was not a lie. Anybody who gets close to the Cassadines, they pretty much get burned. Like, you get screwed in some form or fashion. It can be dangerous. You know what I mean? So I get her looking out for her daughter. She's not thrilled about that choice to, hang around Spencer and stuff like that. But like Trina told her, trust her judgment. She got this. She's going into it with both eyes open. She knows what she's doing. She knows about the Cassadine family and how troubled they are, but she's willing to, believe in Spencer. Um, but that wasn't good enough for Portia. You know what I'm saying? That was not good enough for her, because she is hell bent on making sure that Spencer stays the hell away from her daughter. And Curtis was trying to talk reason with her. He was like, listen, we got to respect her boundaries. Number one, he says she's also an adult. We can't tell her what to do. You can't tell her what to do. You know what I mean? Who to date. And Portia didn't care. It just looks like Portia is hell bent on separating them two. And my opinion is, I have to agree with Curtis. I think Portia should stay out of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be her sounding board. You know what I'm saying? When your daughter come to you for advice or she comes to vent or whatever, just listen. You know what I'm saying? Don't actively try to sabotage that relationship, because I feel like it's going to blow up in her face if she does. Um, and all it's going to do is alienate her from Trina. That's all it's going to do. Because the more she tries to pull them apart, the more Trina is going to rebel and pretty much go gravitate towards Spencer. So I think it would be the dumb thing for Portia to do to try to get involved in that. I'm like, you might just want to listen to what Curtis got to say, but something tell me she ain't gonna want to listen. So we shall see what she gonna do. Hopefully she does. Don't be no fool. I'm just saying, when people in love, don't try to separate them from somebody that they love, because that's just gonna be egg on your face. You know what I mean? Why go through all that now? And I also enjoy Alexis and Spencer's conversation. I love it. I feel like she's to Spencer what she was to Nicholas at one point. Because remember, she used to be Nicholas's confidant at one point. Like, Nicholas used to always go to Alexis for advice and to be a sounding board. And now it looks like that's what Spencer's doing. You know what I'm saying? Calling up Auntie Alexis to get her opinion on things. And I love it. You know what I'm saying? It's like a full circle moment. I fucking love it. You know, and they were talking about Britt's death and Esme and stuff like that, and he brought up the baby. And I'm glad Alexis reminded him, like, you know, despite how you may feel about Nicholas and Esme, the baby is innocent in all of this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad she reminded him of that. But he's afraid that she just gonna take the baby when if she get her memory back, she's just gonna take the baby and run. But Alexis was like, that's not gonna happen because for one, she's still, you know, gonna be charged with various other crimes, so she ain't going nowhere. The PCPD gonna make sure of that. Plus, Nicholas is filing for sole custody. Spencer wasn't really thrilled to hear that because he was like, filing for sole custody because Nicholas thinks Esme's an unfit parent. He said, well, shit, pot, meat, kettle. Shit, how you gonna sit here and talk about her parenting but look at yours? I totally agree with Spencer on that because at the end of the day, it's like when it comes to Esme and Nicholas, I wouldn't allow them to raise a pet turtle, let alone a child. Hell no, I would not trust neither one of them to be responsible for another human life. Absolutely not. No. So I definitely agree. I feel like Nicholas and Esme are both very much unfit, and I feel bad for that child because that's gonna be a mess. So they start talking about that hook killer stuff because Esme looks like she's not the killer. So Alexis is trying to figure out, well, if it ain't Esme and Trina seems to be the target, then who the hell would come after Trina then? You know, she was trying to figure out, does he know anybody else who may have a grudge against her? But Spencer said no. He was like, you know, pretty much everybody in town love her, except for Esme. So he started pointing Alexis into the direction of that nanny that Esme used to talk about, Maggie. Because remember, he did ask Sam to look into Maggie. Speaking of, when the hell did Sam come up with any more information about that lady? Because I don't even think Sam found Maggie. I don't think she did at all. Like, does Maggie really exist? Because I'm like, Sam pretty much just dropped that case. I ain't heard Sam talk about that case in eons. No, I think the last time they talked about that was when Felicia offered to take on that case, wasn't it? I think Felicia offered to take that Maggie case, I think. I could be wrong, but I could have sworn they had that conversation because I know Felicia wanted to take some of the workload off of Sam. And I do remember them having a conversation about something. I just can't remember what at the moment. But I think it could have been that. But I'm like, damn, y'all haven't uncovered nothing? It's been months. And I haven't heard a peep about Maggie yet since today. You know, since before today, I heard nobody talk about her. So basically, he told Alexis, like, if you want to know more or you want to hear more about Maggie, he was like, you basically gonna have to talk to Sam about that one. But you know, she told him to be careful around around Trina and stuff. Since she may be the target, you might want to be careful. I think it's bigger than that though. For whatever Heather Weber's motives are, I think it's a little bit bigger than Trina, just Trina. Obviously she's trying to protect Esme, but I think it's a lot more than that going on. Like something tells me this ain't the end of the story, clearly. So anyway, moving on from that, you know, Dante and Jordan interrogating Josslyn or whatever because they found out she was the one that was on the pier that night, being attacked, and Britt saved her. She was the woman that Britt saved because they found some grainy surveillance footage that showed Josslyn on the pier. So they're trying to figure out why she never came forward and told nobody. So of course, you know, Diane, the legal maverick, pops up to act on Josslyn's interest or whatever, just in case there's something she may say that could mess her up or even mess up Dex or whatever and get somebody locked up. So she had to talk to her alone real quick. So she was like, all right, I can come back in the room. My client want to talk. So she pretty much told them a condensed version of what happened. Of course, she left Dex's name out of there because the last thing Sonny or anybody needs is for cops asking Dex all these questions. But I got a feeling Dante gonna find out that Dex was on that pier. I got that nagging feeling because Dante, he's actually pretty good at what he does. I think Dante really is good at being a cop. He has a knack for figuring some shit out. So I think if anybody could figure out Dex was on that pier that night, it could be him. I'm not sure if he's gonna figure it out sooner rather than later, but I think he may. Um, but yeah, she told them what happened or whatever. So they asked her, was the killer pregnant? Like, did the killer look to be pregnant? And she was like, honestly, she couldn't tell because she just wasn't focused on that. She was just focused on surviving. Everything was moving so fast. It was a lot going on, a lot of moving parts, so she didn't notice any of that stuff. Um, so of course she wasn't happy with the fact that Dante brought her down there for question because she felt ambushed or whatever. I'm like, Josslyn, please. He's just doing his job. It wasn't like you were under arrest or anything like that. You're a material witness basically. So they had to question you. So Dante wanted to know about that family emergency she was talking about because he was like, what the hell going on? And I keep forgetting, Dante's so damn busy with this hook killer stuff, he don't even know what's going on with Michael and Willow. So, of course, Josslyn had to, fill him in on some of what's going on and whatnot. I'm like, damn, Dante just completely out the loop on what's going on with the Corinto side of the family. I'm like, Dante, damn this case right now. You need to get your tail on over to that hospital. It's a lot going on over there. Drew, had to tell Michael about Nina, being Willow's biological mother, because at first when he brought up Nina, Michael didn't want to hear shit about Nina. He said, listen, I'm tired of her being inserting herself in our life. He said, if I got to, I get a restraining order against the broad. But Drew said, yeah, it's not gonna be that simple. So he told Michael about it and stuff like that, and Michael immediately went to Willow's room to hopefully get her to wake up and stuff like that so he could reveal it to her, because this is big news. Speaking of, so Carly and Nina were chopping it up or whatever in the chapel, and I like that. I like those scenes. I felt like Cynthia Watros did her thing. Laura Wright did her thing. Both those ladies, they killed it. I was expecting a little bit more of a confrontation, but you know what? I liked it because I think down the road we're going to get more. I think they didn't give it so much in this episode. It felt a little anticlimactic with the reveal because time is of the essence for Willow. So I don't think Nina had that much time to really dig into Carly the way she really wanted to. You know what I'm saying? But, she was getting in some digs. She called her a, selfish bitch and went off on her. Because at first when Carly kept trying to tell her that you're related to, Willow, Nina was like, are you like smoking on exhaust fumes or something? She was like, what the hell are you talking about? She was like, I'm not related to Willow. And Carly was just looking at her just with frustration like, chick, I done told you like 5 times you're related to this girl. She was like, can you just go get your ass tested and be done with this? But Nina was not believing that she was Willow's mother. She just couldn't believe it. She was like, I only had one child. She was like, bitch, you had 2. She said you had twins. Your mama gave one to the Bensons and gave the other one to Harmony. She said, this is what I'm telling you. Nina still couldn't believe it. And Carly was like, oh my God. The look on Carly's face, the irritation in her face was like, listen, we ain't got time for this shit here. She was like, listen, I got the proof. I got the DNA test. Nina still didn't believe it. Carly was like, listen, can you please go get tested and go expedite the damn results so you can donate your marrow to this girl so she can live. We don't have time for this. She said, I will explain anything else you want later. You can dig into me later, lash out at me later, but we need to save her now. You know what I'm saying? So that's when Nina came to the realization, like, damn, this bitch really is telling the truth. It was like, I really am her mother. Like, duh. She done told you 6, 7 different ways. Damn, you needed to hear it in 7 different languages too? Telemundo, I'll turn to Telemundo. She could tell you in Spanish. Like, damn. Girl, get your ass in the room. So, of course, Nina bum rushes into Willow's room. Well, before she did that, Michael brought up Nina to Willow after, Willow woke up and stuff. And Willow just was going off. She was like, listen, I don't want to hear about her. I don't care about Nina. I don't want to hear about Nina. He was like, listen, you're going to want to hear this. And of course, Nina burst into the room. And Willow just lashed out. She was like, listen, get the hell out of my room. She said, stay away from me. Get out. She was like, get away. I don't want you in my life. And Michael kept trying to tell her, like, yeah, you need to calm down. And Nina was like, yeah, because I could be the one to save your life. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, Miss Willow, you might want to chillax. Like, I understand you don't like her, but you might want to calm down and start kissing some major booty because she could be the one to save you from going to the upper room. I'm just saying, you might want to relax yourself, humble thyself. Um, but we all know like Nina definitely gonna lay into Carly. I like this little feud between her and Carly. It's kind of fun in some ways. It could get annoying sometimes, but certain episodes it'd be funny as shit to me watching the two of them go at it. So of course, Sonny was grilling Drew about it. And Drew sitting there talking about, oh, that's not my business to tell or whatever. I'm like, sir, you done already told Michael. You felt like it was your business enough to tell him, even though Carly should have been one to tell him. So if you could tell Michael, then you could tell Sonny. Go ahead and tell him. And then Carly gonna pop up and tell Sonny to back off and stuff. I'm like, Carly, go sit down. Don't try to act like no OG. I'm about some Sonny back off. Yeah, okay. You better remember who you talking to. You see, people think Sonny be soft some days. I'm like, okay. Till that little short man temper come back on your ass real quick, because he still got it in him. You better tell him something. Because Sonny ain't about to play with you. So anyway, Sonny was up in there talking to Willow or whatever while she was unconscious and whatnot. Because he feels like she could be a buffer between him and Michael. And she feels like he's good for Michael. Like she, is the better part of him and stuff like that, And even Michael was saying that, she's his voice of reason, she his conscience based. She's the voice for his conscience. Because she always tries to steer him in the right path, like, oh, forgive Sonny and make peace. And even though she tells him the good things and the stuff that he should do, Michael ain't never gonna listen to it. He gonna hear you, but he's not, that anger, you get tunnel vision when you get angry like that. And that's what Sonny's hoping for. He's hoping that, Willow could be that bridge to finally, you know, get him and Michael together, seeing eye to eye again. I don't even know if Willow could be that powerful to fix y'all at this point. I really don't. I don't know. But I enjoyed this episode for the most part. I can't wait until we dig deeper into this, and everybody find out, they finally get their head wrapped around Carly's role in all of this stuff. But like I said before, I feel like most of them ain't gonna be mad at Carly but for 5 minutes, if that. You know what I'm saying? She'll be forgiven as usual. You know what I'm saying? Michael might be upset for a minute. Willow might be upset for a little minute, but they'll eventually get over the shit. Nina, she ain't gonna get over nothing. But I don't expect her to. But everybody else, please. They'll be groveling back to the Queen Bee Corinthos. Well, formerly Corinthos. They'll be going back, forgiving her, kissing the boobs. They will. They'll be on their knee, on bended knee, just kissing her feet again. Maybe, I don't know how long it's going to take Drew to come around. Who knows with him, but I don't know. You never know. He might forgive her. But anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you all thought, and I will see you all later. Have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday. Peace.